We deeply regret to announce the death of the former President of Ireland, Eamon de Valera. He had been ill for some time with a heavy cold and had grown steadily weaker over the past few days. At Mr. de Valera's bedside when he died just before noon in Linden Nursing Home, Blackrock, County Dublin, were all the members of his family, one of whom said he died peacefully.
The fact that I was born in America might save my hide. Either way, I am ready for what comes.
Eamon de Valera.
The decision of the men who came out in 1916 was the biggest decision that has been in Irish history that I know of, as these men fully realised what the problem was and the difficulties.
The very first time I met him, he greeted me warmly, he was delighted to meet me. Civil War happened. Let me tell you why the Civil War happened. Going straight into it. You could see that it was bothering him. And I think that Michael Collins' death always bothered him too.
Of course, there was no more Michael Collins, and then he was dead. That's the awful wounds that war between brothers inflicted.
Owing to the action of Mr. de Valera, so much at variance with the temper and instinct of thousands of southern Irishmen, the approaches which the southern Irish ports and airfields could so easily have guarded were closed. We should have been forced to come to close quarters with Mr. de Valera or perish forever from the earth. And we left the de Valera government to frolic with the German and later with the Japanese representatives to their heart's content.
He wants his moment, and as part of his moment, he lays into Ireland yet again.
And this is, of course, an attack that would have really jarred with the Irish public at large, as well as with Irish politicians.
So that where Churchill was going over the top, de Valera responded absolutely. I mean, it was a brilliant forensic exercise.
Mr. Churchill is proud of Britain's stand alone after France had fallen and before America entered the war. Could he not find it in his heart the generosity to acknowledge that there is a small nation that stood alone, not for 1 year or two, but for several hundred years?
Churchill knew he had been beaten. That's why he called it de Valera's finest hour.
Like a piece of radium, you know, he was always round. He had a magic eclat, really, he had. There's no doubt about it.